I thought maybe uh, it would be an interesting thing to share the first full length poem I ever wrote. The year was 1997. I was doing grade eight at Sir David High School. Um, and I've told the story so many times before, but for those that might not have heard it, um, a grade 10 student uh, approached me one day in the quad at the boarding school, the quad between the top section and the bottom section of the boys' dormitory. And in those days, higher senior grade students could at any time instruct lower grade students, especially the newbies, the grade eights, to do all hosts of different things to you know, initiate them or run them into the discipline of high school. And this one day, a grade 10 a student um, uh, by the name of Clayton Clemens, I hope you'll forgive me for mentioning his name, uh, and he, he informed me that I would be writing his poem for English class. I had never attempted poetry, the writing of it before. I'd served up a bunch of limericks when we learned those in primary school, but that was like a little quick stitch together of some poety sounding little cheap rhymes that obviously sound like poetry. Uh, and obviously, I didn't say no to a grade 10 student. And I immediately went to my desk in my dorm room, pulled out pen, pulled out paper. And the strangest thing happened. Uh, Words started being spoken in my mind. It was like a voice. Uh, whose voice I don't know. Yes, I hear voices sometimes, but this voice was saying these words of this poem that I'm going to share with you, that turned out to be "Oh for the love of you." Oh for the love of you, a love poem. Obvious, so obviously poetically horrible. It was essentially a regurgitation of all the romantic era poetry I had stuffed myself with and gorged myself on up to that point. I had read only Shakespeare and the likes of Tommy Hardy and Percy Bysshe Shelley and all the likes of those British romantic era poets that sounded so heavenly and poetic to me, and that's exactly what vomited itself up on the page. So it's a bit humorous for me to share this, but um, it was so innocent, it was so sincere, it was it was so full-hearted. I was impressed at the time that Clayton wouldn't believe it came from me. He thought I had taken it, stolen it from like a book, of some actual published, really skilled, gifted poet. He thought it wasn't my work. So I took that to be a compliment at the time, but I realized over time that I wasn't true to my own poetic voice. I only found out much, much later when I was having the privilege to study poetry at master's level under Robert Berrold at Rhodes University. I discovered that I was only vomiting up the thoughts of others, you know, producing what other people have, reproducing and replicating what other people have mined out. But I kept it close. I had lost the original draft, and tried to piece together some 5, 7 years later from memory best I could. And I just want to share it with you because it was so tentative and so young and so naive, uh, but precious to me because it signaled my birth into the realm of poetry, and I haven't stopped since. So here it is. I'm gonna try not to laugh. Oh, for the love of you. Oh, for the love of you, that I should die because I love you. I fall asleep with a sigh, knowing that it's true. Oh, for the love of you, that I should be sad. I see your beautiful face, and again I am glad. Oh, for the love of you, that I should be happy, that I should have joy in my heart. And oh, how I wish you could see that once we're together, we'll never be apart. Oh, for the love of you, that you should be mine, and ring thou everlasting bells, but hold this love divine.